Bravery is not a copyright, hallmark, or prerogative or privilege of those who work in armed forces. Even in corporate world, people show lot of bravery and courage.
Most of us over here and on the audience of this program are all experienced and knowledgeable people in their own rights and standing. I see a lot of officers here and I salute them for their courage and service to the country. In my humble opinion, not having shared most of the experience and situations faced by most of you here, I find that often the word courage and boldness heard in the day to day life have different meanings for different people, and there is mostly confusion around the meanings. Thus, I'm taking the liberty and opportunity to first share with you the meaning of these small words with big meanings as per the dictionary. My colleague Colonel Joseph was trying to explain the same thing, but unfortunately his video is there. So I would get the advantage of having trying to explain the meanings of these words the way I understand them. The direct meaning of courage is the attitude of dealing with any dangerous, difficult, or painful by being fierce or brave or confident about the issue. Courage means to keep on going even when you are scared, in face of adversity. Similarly, when you look at the word boldness, it is the ability to take risk or face danger, being daring or fearless or confident. Again, the word confident comes in here. Many people equate boldness with courage, but it has also defined as confidence. But there is a huge difference, I feel, in between the two of these. Boldness is a choice. Once boldness is in place, the commitment to action is there. While courage is your savior in the face of fear. That is where I believe are the differences which come out between the two words. Someone who is bold may necessarily not courageous. Another word for boldness is brave. So courageous is brave. But that has to do with the action of the face of fear. Courage increases with increasing confidence. So basically, as you develop your courage, your confidence increases, and that allows you to become bold and to be able to take decisions which are bold in nature. While at the other end of that, leadership is a combination of boldness and courage amongst other traits. This is here. Leadership is the process by which we direct and influence behavior of and work of others. Leadership brings with it responsibility to lead with empathy, embrace change, act as a mentor, just to name a few of the traits which a leader needs to have with him. I'd like to give you a few examples from real life. Is the situation that I faced. As Captain Tyagi introduced me in the beginning, I began life in the good days as a chef, a glorified name for a good old bawarchi in India. And the bawarchi, I was saying, yes, sir, 3 bags full all the time. So I took the decision to take my future in my own hands and became from a bawarchi a chowkidar. A total drastic change. But that is where it went. In those days, in the 80s, the chowkidar was something which did not have any status as we are trying to bring about today. Today, we are looking at the security, this thing, as being security officers. But those days, they were nothing else but chowkidars. When I took that decision, at that time, I had just got married to my sweetheart from college. And we went on our honeymoon, and that's where we took the decision that I would leave that work and I would take a decision to jump into my own work, which I was quite convinced I would be able to do. And my wife at that time, newly married, decided that, okay, we will, I will support you. So when from a chef who was trained in Indian cookery and who had the opportunity to go within the country or anywhere else in the world, I took that decision. And I came back from my honeymoon a couple of days before Madam Indira Gandhi's assassination. The day I got in, the next day I went to the hotel and I handed in my resignation, much to the surprise of most of my colleagues and a lot of people kept on telling me that you're making a wrong decision. You have so much in front of you. You are a trained chef. In those days, there were no trained chefs as such. Everybody was a cook, but this was a new category which the hotel had started. So we were the first batch of trained chefs which the Taj brought. And Taj at that time was expanding all over the country. So we had a huge opportunity to go anywhere else across the world also. Now, everybody tried to do that, but I was quite convinced in my plan that we would go ahead with that decision. But 2 days later, India erupted into a whole lot of fire and problems with the assassination of Mrs. Gandhi. And but my entire world at that stage went in, along with everybody, went into the flames. But I persisted with that thought because I had a burning desire to succeed, and with the support of my wife. So this gave me the strength to take this bold step to continue on this. Now, along the way, there were many incidents where setbacks were many, but courage and boldness showed me the ability to be able to in whatever I wanted to try and do in there. We got an opportunity. One of the things I tell you that during the time we got an opportunity to get into the cash in transit business very early in the business. And cash in transit was something which was unheard of at that point in time in India. But Grindlays Bank told me that they wanted a cash van. We didn't know what a cash van was. So all they told me was go get hold of one Maruti van, which was a new entrant at that point in time in the market. I paid a huge premium for it, went and got that, put one gunman in it, and that was my cash van business. So we started with that. But this is a very small and simple start, but it got us business from other banks like Citibank, etc. Suddenly, work and life was good. Till one fine day, Citibank got instructions from overseas that they need to convert their entire fleet into bulletproof vehicles, something which was seen abroad, had never been seen in India, and none of us knew even what to do with it. Other than the armed forces, nobody had ever seen, even heard of a bulletproof vehicle. This we are talking of 85, 86, 87. At that point in time, all that you had was the bulletproof vehicles which went to the northeast or went to the eastern sector. At the same time, the Citibank was also told that there's a new multinational company which has come into India, which is working with them all over the world. And the job was given to both of us to try and see who would be able to put out a cash van out in the open. Now, suddenly, I was faced with the huge probability of losing my business because A, I did not have that much of money, I did not have the experience, I did not have the knowledge, I did not. There were no cash vans available, and none of us had any ability to even do anything about it. On the other hand, the multinational company had a worldwide of experience. They had deep pockets. They had everything to be able to deliver. I took down at that as a challenge, and I used to spend my days and nights at Mayapuri, got out of a built a body on it with bulletproof material, which was being used by the armed forces. I managed to get hold of that. I brought in second-hand engines because engines could not take on the loads. And I managed to produce a bulletproof cash van on the road before the MNC could do it. Now, that gave me the factor that I was able to deliver far better because I had the conviction in my thought and I had the boldness to be able to go and say, I will do it, even though in my stomach I was having a loose stomach because I just did not know what's going to happen with us.
Okay,
Later
Mr.
in the
Anilpuri,
year, yeah,
I intervene here because very important point you have mentioned here about the
yeah,
conviction, and that conviction is reflected when a very profound and long-lasting commitment and conviction is displayed by most revered Guruji Maharaj when he says, सवा लाख से एक लड़ाऊं, चिड़ियों संग में बाज लड़ाऊं। वो करेज है, वो कन्विक्शन है, और वो लीडरशिप की एक रिक्वायरमेंट है। कन्विक्शन के बारे में आपने कहा, तो अब मैं थोड़ा सा जाता हूँ कर्णजोत सिंह के पास और उनसे ये पूछता हूँ कि कन्विक्शन जहां एंड होता है वहीं पर करेज शुरू होता है क्या, या पहले करेज होता है और फिर बाद में कन्विक्शन आता है क्या? और उससे पहले कि जोत सिंह अपनी बात हम लोगों के साथ शेयर करें, मुझे एक कविता याद आती है, राष्ट्र कवि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर, और वो कहते हैं कि सच है विपत्ति जब आती है कायर को ही दहलाती है। सच है विपत्ति जब आती है कायर को ही दहलाती है। सूरमा नहीं विचलित होते, क्षण एक नहीं धीरज खोते, विघ्नों को गले लगाते हैं, कांटों में राह बनाते हैं। तो कर्णजोत सिंह ढिल्लों, आप तो पर्वतारोही रहे हैं, माउंटेनियरिंग में आपका बड़ा नाम है, और मैं एक जानता हूँ, एक एक्टिविटी होती है कि जब आप सारे एक रोप से अटैच्ड होते हैं और आपका एक लीडर होता है जो आगे वो पहाड़ों पर जहां सही जगह होती है वहां एक कील ठोकता है, उस पर अपना कैरेबिना लगाता है, और आप भी और आपके साथ जितने लोग हैं वो सारे उसी पर डिपेंड होते हैं कि वो लीडर ने वो जो लगाया है वो सही लगाया है नहीं लगाया है। वहां जब आता है आपका कन्विक्शन, वहां जब आता है आपका बोल्ड डिसीजन, आपको मालूम है कि अगर आप फेल हुए तो सारे जाएंगे, तो उस वक्त जब बात आती है डर लगता है क्या? क्या आपको कभी इस तरह का डर महसूस हुआ, और कैसे आपने उसको ओवरकम किया? ये करेज और बोल्डनेस से रिलेटेड है मेरा।
Tyagi, if I say I have no fear, it will be wrong. Everyone has a fear, but it is one's ability to overcome fear, or I would say it is one's ability to overcome the negative emotions when it create fear in us. Yes, there are a lot of challenges when we climb mountains, but the mission overshadows every other fear. When you achieve the mission successfully, then you gain a lot of confidence. And as far as the conviction you have mentioned, Nilpuri's speech, I told you the conviction is the passion to have your beliefs and values. If leader with conviction does not follow the crowd blindly, he does not baffle in the face of adversity like Anil did in 84. He will have the courage to follow his intuition and take decision in the difficult situation. These are the people of action. They should be action oriented. They don't talk, they simply act. As far as you are saying on the convincings, say goes, चिड़ियों से मैं बाज लड़ाऊं, गिद्दड़ों को मैं शेर बनाऊं, सवा लाख से एक लड़ाऊं, तभी गुरु गोबिंद सिंह कहलाऊं. This is a famous saying, and this is very inspiring. You must be knowing the story behind it. In 1705, when Guru Gobind Singh had only 40 commandos, he was surrendered by 10 lakh army of Aurangzeb, Mughals, and the chieftains, hill chieftains. And Aurangzeb wanted to deceive him. He said, okay, you come and negotiate, and I will not capture you. So Guru Gobind Singh has fired his arrow and sent a message that you are coward. You are trying to deceive me. I will fight with you. You see the courage, a person with 40 people sending a message to a tyrant ruler who had 10 lakh army, and they fought. This is called the Battle of Chimkor, where all 40, in Punjabi they call it 40 Muktas. They died fighting, and Guru Gobind Singh was not captured by them. They could not capture 10 lakh army. That is when he said, सवा लाख से एक लड़ाऊं, गिद्दड़ों को मैं शेर बनाऊं, तभी गोबिंद सिंह नाम कहलाऊं. I also try a lot of inspiration from Guru Gobind Singh, who said, "ये शिवा पर मोहे है, शुभ कर्म से कबू न डरो, ना डरो और जब जाए लड़ो, निश्चय कर अपनी जीत को." This is the trait of a courageous leader. He said, "Oh God, give me this boon. May I never ever shrink doing a good deed, and that shall not make me afraid when I go to the battle and have full determination to achieve the victory." It is your conviction. Very well said by Adil. If you have a conviction, you should take action and you will be successful. Thank you.
फाइन। मैं जो पूछ रहा था वो लाइव एग्जाम्पल कि जब कभी आपने लाइन में सबसे आगे चल के वो नेल लगाया, उसको क्या बोलते हैं, स्पिटून बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, समथिंग लाइक दिस।
पिटोन होते हैं, आइसेक्स होता है।
ओके ओके, तो जिस पर आप लाइफ लाइन लगाते हैं जी, पर आप अपना लाइन लगाते हैं, वो लगाने का काम जो है एक माउंटेनियरिंग के लिए जो स्केलिंग कर रहे हैं उनके लिए बड़ा क्रूशियल डिसीजन होता है कहाँ लगाना है। और मैं उस वक्त ये पूछ रहा था कि जब आप ये लगाते हैं और उस पर अपना कैरेबिना आप लगाते हैं, आपको पता है कि यही आपकी जान बचाएगा, और अगर आपने थोड़ी सी भी गलती की गुंजाइश कहीं है तो आपको पता है कि ये आपकी जान भी ले सकता है। ऐसे क्रूशियल डिसीजन जिसमें न सिर्फ आपकी अपनी लाइफ बल्कि और भी जो आपके साथी उन सबकी लाइफ डिपेंड करती है, ऐसे जब आप काम कर रहे हैं तो उस वक्त डर लगता है क्या?
ये जरूर है कि आपकी जो लाइफ है वो it hinges on certain pitons and ropes when you climb a mountain. But if you are afraid, you are not a mountain. You have to ensure that you take the risk, accept the challenge of mountain. I have faced numerous situations in which the team was about to be buried under an avalanche. There was some casualties which were at a altitude of 24,000, 25,000. There was one incident in 95 when I was climbing Kamath from the west face. Though Indian team had climbed so far from the west face, mine was the first attempt. It is a steep face, ice and rock. And I was camping in 23,000. My advanced team was there at 24,500. They are going to the summit. And you have to start very early in the morning, 2:30, 3 o'clock. One of my team members, when they started, he fell into a crevice. And it is very easy to leave him there or come back safe, because the safety of the member is very important. But a mountaineer never takes such action. He will put all his efforts to save his league first before his own life. I also went up and we made sure that we recovered that soldier from the crevasse and bring him down. In the process, I was also frostbitten and I lost my two toes. But we were successful in our mission. If you don't have courage, if you don't have conviction, if you are not able to take the challenges, you are afraid of taking the challenges, I am afraid you will not be a good mountaineer.
मिस्टर पुरी,
Yes, sir.
तो जिस पॉइंट पर हमने आपके साथ पहले राउंड में चर्चा थोड़ी थी वहीं से शुरू करते हैं। और बोल्डनेस की बात आती है, करेज की बात आती है। आपने अपने लाइफ से शेयर किया कि लीडरशिप की पोजीशन पर जो आपके कॉन्स्पिक्यूअस स्टेट्स हैं जो सबको दिखते हैं, वो ये है कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं और किस तरीके से कर रहे हैं, वो सबको दिखता है। आपके मन में क्या चल रहा है वो किसी को नहीं दिखता। आप क्या स्ट्रेटेजिक डिसीजन प्लान कर रहे हैं और कैसे उसको एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हैं वो किसी को नहीं दिख रहा है, वो आपके दिमाग में है। लेकिन जो सबको डिस्प्ले हो रहा है वो ये डिस्प्ले हो रहा है कि क्या आप डर से कांप रहे हैं? क्या आपके चेहरे पर पसीना है? क्या आप डिसीजन नहीं ले पा रहे हैं? और ये सारी रिक्वायरमेंट जो है वो ऐसी नहीं है कि जहां लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग सिचुएशन हो वहीं पर होंगी। ऐसी सिचुएशन तो आती हैं, जैसे आपके फील्ड में मैं अगर रिलेट करूं, तो अगर आप ये कलेक्टिव बार्गेनिंग कर रहे हैं, आप ये एम्प्लॉइज कलेक्टिव के साथ बात कर रहे हैं, वहां भी बड़ी प्रेशर सिचुएशन होती है, हाईली स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशन, and everyone, whoever is on your side or whoever is your adversary, they watch it. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि डर नहीं लगता। डू द ड्यू, उसका एड कैंपेन ही आ गया कि डर के आगे जीत है। तो इनफैक्ट वो डर के आगे जीत है कैसे हुआ ये तो मुझे मालूम है कि ब्रिगेडियर कारगिल के टाइम में योगेंद्र सिंह, जब वो चारों तरफ से घिर गया और गोलीबारी हुई, घायल हो गया, उसके बाद कमांड हॉस्पिटल में भर्ती हुआ था, तो मुझे उससे मिलने का मौका मिला था। आफ्टर ऑल, यू डोंट मीट ऐसे वीर योद्धाओं से आपको जीवन में शायद कई बार मौका सारी जिंदगी नहीं मिलता। तो मैंने उसको जिस दिन मैं मिलकर आया था, शाम को ही मैंने एक इंटरव्यू देखा था, और उसमें एक लेडी जर्नलिस्ट कह रही थी कि जब चारों तरफ से गोलियां चल रही थी, आप भी घायल हो गए थे, तो आपको डर नहीं लगा था क्या? तो उसने कहा कि मैडम, डर लगा, बहुत डर लगता है। तो इतने में उसने माइक को कैमरे के सामने खड़ा करके बोलना शुरू कर दिया, देखिए ये वीर योद्धा हैं भारतीय सेना के, और ये कहते हैं इनको डर लगता है। तो उसने एकदम माइक खींचकर ये कहा कि मैडम, एक बार डर सबको लगता है, सबका गला सूखता है, उसके बाद पलटन की इज्जत, साथियों का ख्याल, झंडे का सम्मान, ये सब याद आ जाता है, और फिर डर लगना बंद हो जाता है। तो एक ऐसी सिचुएशन जो कहते हैं ना कि डर सबको लगता है और डर के आगे जीत है। तो मैं अनिल पुरी जी आपसे ये पूछ रहा था कि ऐसी सिचुएशन में आप क्या रिकमेंड करते हो? क्या एक लीडर को, एक नेता को, एक नेतृत्व को क्या दिखाना चाहिए? किस तरह के गुण उसको प्रदर्शित करने चाहिए?
सर देखिए, डिसीजन एज लीडर is a rounded situation. A leader has to be able to know what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses, what the opposition is, what is their weaknesses, what are the environment around in which he's working, and then he has to build, as you rightly said in the beginning, plan A, plan B, plan C, and even a plan D. You have to be able to outthink the opposition. You have to be able to you have to be nimble on your feet to be able to take a free mind to be able to move as per the situation, yet along a basic plan which is there. See, basically when you look at leadership, it is the decision which is taken with knowledge, hard work, without fear, believe in yourself and your idea, and your team. The team has to give you the inputs, they have to give you the support, they have to give you the knowledge. Now, when I look at all that in the corporate world, you basically are depending upon information, both internal, external, in that environment, what it is happening, and then you are able to take an informed decision which allows you, along with your team, to take a bold decision to bring you to a point where you are able to come out a winner in the situation. That is how you have to basically do it in the corporate world. In the armed forces, it's a totally different thing. So that's what I said initially. The courage and the boldness mean different things to different people in different circumstances.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now I invite questions from the participants, and till questions start coming, there is already one, and that is related to courage. कॉन्स्पिक्यूअस ब्रेवरी जिसको हम कहते हैं, उसके बारे में तो सैम मानेकशॉ ने बड़े फेमसली कहा था कि अगर कोई कहता है कि मुझको डर नहीं लगता, तो या तो वो झूठा है या फिर वो गोरखा है। तो उन्होंने ये अंडरलाइन किया
ये
था,
मैंने उसको भी बताया।
उन्होंने ये अंडरलाइन किया था कि
ये
डर तो
कोट
सबको
करने के
लगता है, और ये भी आगे बता दिया कि एक और महायोद्धा ने आगे ये भी बता दिया कि डर के आगे जीत है, और ये टैगलाइन बन गया एक कमर्शियल पर्पस के लिए।
बता रहा है, इसको भी कोट कर दे।
There is one mic which is active now. Okay. तो जो मेरा सवाल है अब ये कर्नल जोत सिंह ढिल्लों से है, और वो ये है कि जब आप अपने लड़कों को तैयार कर रहे हैं जो आपके ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट में आते हैं, दे आर कमिंग टू लर्न एडवेंचर स्पोर्ट्स, मे इट बी पैरासेलिंग, paragliding, skiing, or mountaineering. All these adventure sports activities have very fair amount of risk involved, risk to life, risk to grievously hurt your body. तो क्या कोई मेंटल कंडीशनिंग भी आप उनके साथ करते हैं? क्या तैयारी करते हैं? कैसे वो आर दे कमिंग self-motivated, highly charged up, or do you do some other activities and exercise with them to bring them to that standard of risk taking? I'm asking this question because audience would be post-event audience would be youngsters only.
Captain Tyagi, certainly a person who comes to learn adventure skill is very well aware that there is a certain amount of risk involved. But I believe in Swami Vivekananda, take risk in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you don't, you can guide. So it is the courage, the development of courage in the raw youth to develop courage through the adventure sports. It's not only the courage. Through adventure sports, we build their personality, all-round personality. They learn how to deal in difficult situations, how to organize themselves, how to lead a life in a challenging environment. And of course, once they learn the skill despite all these fears, they are happy and enjoy the thrill of their skill. And it's not only in one event of adventure, in all adventure, whether it's skiing, mountaineering, parasailing, skydiving, or scuba diving, everywhere the risk is involved. And people who come, they are very well aware, and basically they come to remove that fear which is involved in the risk.
Yeah, thank you. तो बात वही आती है कि either you have it in you, and if you don't have it, another mountaineer, famous mountaineer, has said that if you don't have it in you, don't come to mountains. Even bedroom is not safe place for you. So uh, true, even bedroom is not safe place for such people. लेकिन ऐसा है कि जब आप अपने ही टीम में एक ऐसे टीम मेंबर को देखते हैं जिसको बहुत ज्यादा सपोर्ट की जरूरत है, जिसको एज लीडर आप समझते हैं कि अगर ठीक से हैंडल नहीं किया तो वो लायबिलिटी बन जाएगा, उसको बूस्टअप करना है, उसको दिलासा देना, तसल्ली देनी है, उसको हिम्मत बनानी है। तो अनिल जी, आप ऐसा क्या करते हैं? ऐसे टीम मेंबर तो आपके पास भी होंगे जो लायबिलिटी हैं, और अगर हैंडल नहीं किया तो वो जो एसेट्स है वो लायबिलिटी बनने में देर नहीं लगती। इन कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड यू नो क्वाइट वेल दैट ह्यूमन एसेट्स are your biggest assets, and they become within second they become liability unlike other physical assets, human assets become liability very soon when things go wrong. So how you do the damage control, and as leadership challenge you take it, so what are the mechanism you have developed as leader?
So let me put it to you, the business that we are, which is a guarding business, the only matter we have there is human element, is the human manpower, which is our basic business model. And we basically look at the fact that everybody has a strength in him. There are weaknesses. The fact is that every individual, if you have taken a choice on somebody and you have found that he has got some capabilities, it is your responsibility as a leader to be able to mentor him, to be able to make him come forward, give him the support that is required, a pat on the shoulder, maybe. People get into these kind of liabilities not for any of their own misdeed. It's just that circumstances sometimes create home circumstances, market circumstances, anything can create a feeling of inability in a person. It is for the leader to be able to recognize that, see whether there is a capability in that person, because you had originally visualized that he had a strength. That is why you took him on. Now it is your responsibility to be able to help him come out of that situation and become stronger. And when you are able to achieve that, you will get a team member who is going to not only be loyal, but will be the biggest asset in the entire organization. I just tell you, for example, most of my top management team has been with me for the last 28 years. Now, they came in as college students. Today, one of them is the group CEO. He's running the entire organization. He knows the way I want things. I know the way he thinks. We have gone through the ups and downs of life. There have been situations when I've had personal losses in terms of family losses. They were there to support me. Why is it that if there is a problem and they have, I should not be there? That is the difference that I feel a leader has to be able to there. The people have to believe in your commitment to them and your support to them. When you can bring that about, the team or the people will leave their own inabilities, and they will try to make that additional step forward to be able to come out of that situation. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think
Great response. Colonel Jot Singh Dhillon, question is to you, but for
may
the
I
time
add
being,
to the previous question?
I keep Mr. Anil Puri ready for next question. And next question for Mr. Anil Puri comes from Murli Saundar. And he is asking, can you please differentiate between physical courage and moral courage? How you exercise them during critical situations in your entrepreneurial ventures? Is physical courage relevant in business? So while you uh, think about your response, I ask Jot Singh Dhillon about his army experience. For the benefit of audience, I initially mentioned while giving the introduction that he is Sena Medal Bar. And before I ask the question, I make little background, and I am immediately recalling few lines from a Hindi poem. घनी अंधेरी रात हो और न तेरे कोई साथ हो, मुमकिन है कि तू डर भी जाए जब अपना साया तुझे डराए, एक पल के लिए तू कुछ सोच ले, पीछे मुड़ के भी देख ले, अपने डर से जीत ले, अपने डर को जीत ले। तो अपने डर से जीत ले और अपने डर को जीत ले। पीछे मुड़ के देखना दो हालत में होता है कि या तो आप लीडर हैं और पीछे मुड़कर तब देखते हैं कि आपके पीछे जो आ रहे हैं आपके फॉलोअर्स, वो ठीक हैं, वो सुरक्षित हैं, वो आप में ट्रस्ट करते हैं। और अगर आप लीडरशिप पोजीशन में नहीं है तो आप पीछे मुड़कर देखते हैं कि क्या पीछे उनकी सपोर्ट है जो आपको आगे ले जाने के लिए तैयार है, जो आपके लीडर हैं, क्या वो आपको सपोर्ट देंगे? तो पीछे मुड़ के देखना, चाहे आप लीडरशिप पोजीशन में हो या आप फॉलोअर पोजीशन में हो, जरूरी है। तो पीछे मुड़ के देखना तो जरूरी है, नेतृत्व की ये आवश्यकता है। तो जोत सिंह ढिल्लों, मैं आपसे ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि आपने तो सेना मेडल जिस वाकये के लिए, जिस कर्तव्य निभाने के लिए आपको मिला था, उसका कुछ यहाँ जिक्र करके आप बता सकते हैं कि how that bravery, how that boldness and courage was in action?
You know, as far as your question is concerned, when army experience, I may not go into detail because of certain security reasons, but as a commander who led the team, it's a passion. And if you are able to pass on your passion to your team in the adverse situation, they will follow you. During adversity, I have been able to motivate my teams with my personal example, personal charisma, and not by my position as a commander. I always used to lead from the front. When I'm leading from the front, everyone was jumping to go ahead of me. And when we have encountered resistance from the militants, from the terrorists, nobody has allowed me to expose myself. In fact, when I try to lead the team from the front, everyone is equal courageous. As far as your question was to Anil Puri, but I will also give a reply how you motivate your team to stand with you. You have to develop the confidence in the person. I remember the story of Edison. Edison's teacher gave a note to Edison that he gave it to your mother. He gave that note to his mother, he kept in a box. And when his mother died, he took out that note. But at the time when the note was given to her mother, he asked what is written in it. Her mother said, your teacher has written that Edison is an intelligent boy. He can achieve anything in life. He is a great personality. And Edison forgot about this letter. When his mother died, he took that letter in which it was written, Edison is not worth teaching in this class. He doesn't take any interest. He is below average. He is not a student to whom I can teach. You see the difference? It is the inspiration of the mother which has made incomplete Edison a brilliant Edison. So it is the inspiration given.
Thank you, Jot Singh. You are not heard at this point.
Any handicapped.
So back to Anil Puri, the question which was raised previously.
If I recollect clearly, it is the difference between physical and mental courage. Am I right?
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Or moral courage, physical and moral courage.
Physical and moral courage. Right,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, I'll basically explain that in our kind of context, while Colonel Dillon has faced it in the war circumstances, etc., where courage is of a total different, physical is there. However, in the corporate world, also there is a serious concern on physical and moral courage. Physical courage comes about in instances where you need to actually go out in front, maybe in an IR situation, and deal with a situation without tactfully, where you could actually, because of your job profile, that you have to make sure that the troublemakers are going to be pacified. You will actually face a physical assault. But how do you get the courage to be able to go and face a physical assault when that happens only when you have the moral courage and the belief in the system, the organization, as well as the motivation and the inspiration which has been given to you by the leadership team or by the people there. So the physical part you're facing where you could get roughed up, you could get a few slaps or something, but will you allow that to take you down? Or would you have the moral courage to be able to believe in what you came there for, still not lose your cool, and be able to take the right decisions. All that depends upon the moral courage which is brought into you. And that moral courage is again a part of the mental support system which an organization needs to build around its teams. It is those people who are the ones who are going to actually back up the field staff who are going to go, whether it's a field officer who goes and deals with people creating a problem at a factory site, or whether it is an IR situation which a manager has to deal internally itself. Because we are all a manpower based companies, we can actually suffer the same mistakes. What we are seeing outside can actually happen to us internal. Now, suddenly you find yourself in a situation while you had the mental capability and physical this thing of having a couple of bouncers to go out and deal with the outside, but you cannot do that internally with your own people. That's where your mental courage comes in. That's where your support system of the management comes in. That you're able to go out and the same people are then, you do not take the support of the bouncers, but at the same, the HR people could be a lady, could be a thin, scary guy, but the guy's got the mental courage to go and talk with a presence of mind. Why? Because he knows that whatever decision he takes, as long as it is in the essence of the matter and as long as he has got the support of the people of his management, he'll go and take that out. That is,
I'm not prepared for this kind of interaction, but one thing is very sure. अगर तो आप योद्धा हो, अगर आप ब्रेव हो, तो दो चीजें तो जरूरी है आपके अंदर, फिजिकल करेज भी और आपका मॉरल। वो बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट है आपके योद्धा होने की। क्वालिटीज जो हैं, फिजिकल करेज और मॉरल करेज, ये टोटली आपके कैरेक्टर के ऊपर है। If you're morally corrupt, if you're dishonest, if you're greedy, you can't be a morally correct person. You don't have the moral courage to do anything. I'm telling you. लेकिन अगर आप अपने चरित्र से सही हो, तो आपके अंदर जो मॉरल करेज आएगा, वो आपसे बड़ी चीजें करवा देगा। परमात्मा आपके ऊपर खुश भी होगा। ये चीजें क्योंकि मैंने युद्ध की स्थिति भी देखी है कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में, जो बहुत बोल्ड और मॉरल वाले हैं उनको भी सबसे नीचे जाता देखा सिचुएशन के साथ। तो ये सब चीजें जो आप सब लोगों ने कही हैं, जो ढिल्लों ने भी, पुरी जी ने भी, बहुत जगह लागू हो, फौज में तो लागू होती है। मैंने तो फौज में भी देखा कि जब युद्ध में कैसे लोग भगते हैं जिनको हम बड़े बहादुर मानते थे, उनको इकट्ठा करना ही मुश्किल हो जाता है। भी साले तुम इकट्ठा हो जाओ, लेट्स fight it in different manner. I have seen all those operations and I've seen courage in my life as a private investigator. इसका courage चाहिए था कई ऐसे अंडरकवर ऑपरेशन करने में, देश में विदेश में भी। ये बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है कई चीजों को डिफाइन करना, लेकिन मेरा अपना मानना है कि अगर आपका बहादुर का है, अगर आपके अंदर वो सारे ट्रेड हैं बहादुर के, तो फिर बहादुर तो भाई चोर भी है। इतनी हिम्मत से जो चोरी करता है सोना, लेकिन उसके करैक्टर में चोरी है। तो जो मॉरल करेज आप, उसी से आपको कन्विक्शन आती हैं, उसी से आप आगे हर चीज को ऑर्गेनाइज करते हो। और करेज का, लीडर का करेज अलग है, जो आपके फादर हैं उनका करेज अलग है। और जी मैं और बड़ा फर्क आप देखते हो कैसे आप मोटिवेट काफी
Next question from Sanjay Srivastava. Sanjay, can you ask your question, please?
Hear me, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
The question is basically that it is to both the speakers. The situation of boldness is circumstantial at times, and you have to take a decision. रेजिमेंट की इज्जत, अपनी इज्जत, बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स होते हैं. In your personal example, can you refer some cases when you took a bold decision, and what were the main causes of success? That can be a message to us. That's all from my side.
Did I answer?
Please.
Boldness, I think, is a quality, not a state of mind. It's a ability to take a difficult decision in the absence of any danger, any threat. Whereas courage is a taking a decision in a warlike situation where you expect only harm, fear, or difficulty. Bold decision, I will give two examples of bold decisions. One is that what I have personally faced. My mother was very sick at the age of 86. She was on a ventilator. Her organs had failed. So she was just surviving because of the ventilator. So doctor wanted to continue with the ventilator because of the risk compulsion. But one doctor told me that the chances of saving your mother are very remote. So at that time, either you take a very bold decision to remove the ventilator, or you continue, you don't have the ability, the boldness to take a decision. So I have faced in my life when my mother was, she has, all organs have failed and she was surviving on a ventilator. I've taken the decision to remove the ventilator so that she can peacefully pass to her, soul can pass peacefully. There are many other bold decisions which you take in your day-to-day life in the army. There are instances when there are restrictions to send your Jawans on leave, but you understand the need of a Jawan better than the headquarters. Many a times I have floated the norms of headquarters and sent my Jawans on leave, taking risk myself so that I am able to look after my command and ensure that the morale of the courage of my command remains intact.
Thank you, Jose. It is very famously said that courage is nothing but controlled cowardice. अपने डर को अगर आपने कंट्रोल करना सीख लिया तो आप वीर हो गए. और जैसे वीरता के बारे में लोग मानते हैं, कायरता के बारे में भी लोग मानते हैं कि ये इन्फेक्शियस है. अगर एक डरता है तो सारे डरते हैं, और एक हिम्मत दिखाता है तो सारे हिम्मत दिखाते हैं. मैं ये क्राउड के सिंड्रोम की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं टीम के डायनेमिक्स की बात कर रहा हूं. और टीम के डायनेमिक्स और क्राउड के सिंड्रोम में बड़ा फर्क है. अनिल पुरी ने ऐसे बहुत सारे सिचुएशन हैंडल किए हैं. तो पहले मैं अनिल पुरी से सवाल पूछूंगा, जोत सिंह, फिर मैं आपके पास आऊंगा. वी आर वेरी मच नाउ 1 hour passed into the webinar, 15 minutes left. So after this round, I have invited the questions, and questions have almost all answered, already covered. So let me see, at the end, if there are any other new questions coming up. So between us, we have about 14 minutes time more. तो जहां मैं बात कर रहा था, अनिल पुरी, कंट्रोल कावर्डिस इज ब्रेवरी, और टीम की डायनेमिक्स हैं जहां एक हिम्मत दिखाता है तो पूरी टीम के सक्सीड होने के चांस बढ़ जाते हैं, सफल होने के चांस बढ़ जाते हैं. तो आपने अपने लाइफ में ऐसे बहुत सारे कोई सिचुएशन जरूर देखे होंगे. डू यू वांट टू शेयर विद अस एंड रिलेट व्हाट यू हैव सीन इन दैट सिचुएशन? अनिल पुरी. Yes, we can hear you, Anil.
You
Go ahead,
have,
please.
yeah.
We can.
Shall I begin again?
Yeah, please.
I said, I began by saying that courage is your savior in the face of fear. Very often we have faced in the corporate sector, we do not face any of the risk of bullets or any of the risks which are faced by the services or by the armed forces. But the risk and the fear and that we suffer in the corporate sector is equally bad in its own manners. I'll give you a very simple example. When we were running the cash in transit business, we used to move cash. That was physical cash and gold. There was a time when we used to have, on an average of about 200 kilos, 300 kilos of gold moving at any given point in time in our vehicle. And we had maybe half a dozen vehicles operating all over the country. So you're talking of 1,000 kilos of gold. Multiply that by the kind of money you had. That was one aspect. The other aspect was that we were the only company which was able to break into what was known as the Angaria service, which is a very close net of people who move gold and bullion and high value this thing in the Gujarat sector. Now we broke into that by the sense that we had to actually move their consignments across the country. Now what happens? They will put a crore, 2 crores worth of balance in a small packet and declare it at 1 lakh rupees. And you're moving that, and your own insurance will never pay you back in the event of a loss. So that is the kind of organization or the kind of pressures that the corporate sector works under. Totally different from what the armed forces work under, right? But yet both suffer their own problems. Now, the incident that I want to tell you is we were carrying cash in the remote areas of Maharashtra, 8 crores of rupees in a vehicle. In one of the troubled areas, the vehicle was looted, 8 crores gone. The agreement with the bank was that 8 crores needs to be given back to the bank within 24 hours. That is the kind of agreements. Now, just look at the pressure that a corporate sector works under. We had no choice. We had to make sure that the money was available to the bank, but we did not let the matter rest. One of my people said, listen, sir, it may be a troubled area. Never mind. Let me go there. He went there. He camped over there. He spoke to the SSP. He made arrangements with them. Can you imagine somebody where in an area where the cops were scared to go and take decisions? He actually was able to get the SP over that SSP over there to come into that remote area, revitalize his own police force. They found the vehicle and they recovered 7.25 crores. We lost 75 lakhs. But the fact is that this gentleman went out there where there was no place to stay, there was no hotel to stay, there was nothing to stay. He went and sat over there in the police station, lived the night in the police station, managed to get the right kind of process into place for the SSP to be able to revitalize. So that's courage of a different kind. These are the kind of things which we feel that they are also very necessary. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you very much. Probably this is going to be the last question of this webinar, and this is to Colonel Jyot Singh Dhillon. There is a thin line between success and failure of a bold action. If it is successful, then you are praised, rewarded, awarded, recognized. And if you fail, you are doomed. Your life, your career. So there is a very thin line. If he failed, he would have called a fool. But when he succeeded, he is revered and respected. A soldier, when attempts to take a very audacious path, I'm referring to one incident in Kargil where frontal attack was considered, much to dismay of senior leaders. It was considered a very stupid decision, but it succeeded. So now question to you, Jyot Singh, is where your foolishness and your audacity, which is again another element related to boldness and courage, how you differentiate it, and is there any line dividing between these two, or is it only the end result which decides whether it is foolishness or whether it is very sagacious decision? Over to you, Jyot Singh.
Captain Tyagi, I would say, if you are not able to take risk in your life, you can never win. Once you take a risk, either you win, as Swami Vivekananda said, either you win and you can lead, or you move, or you can dive. There is a very thin line between boldness and the rashness. And you can find this line. You ask your intuition which decision you should take. And if you ask your heart rather than brain, I'm sure you will always be successful. And even if you are not successful, you should be prepared. Because once you show courage, it is not that you will always win.
Thank you. We lost you, Jyot Singh. Now, may I request Colonel Malan to please make your statement to wrap up the webinar, and we look forward to your kind words, the kind of position you have. We always look up to you for guidance and blessings.
Thank you, Captain Tyagi. First of all, I must be slightly formal in complimenting you to organize these seminars, and most importantly, the fact that you're bringing in people from diverse backgrounds who then share their personal experiences to fill the necessity of all the confusion which most of the minds experience as we go along in life. For example, what is leadership? Leadership is defined theoretically by Wikipedia is an ability to lead or guide, ability of an individual or a group to lead or guide somebody, which can be an individual. Fair enough. Now, leadership stems from, if one goes by the topics that you've chosen, it's a mix of what? Is it vision and farsightedness? Is it focus and resilience? Is it humility and passion? Is it integrity and accountability? Is it courage? Sorry. Now, what is it? The question comes to the mind is,
Not able to hear.
it is an attitude. It is a janoon, madness. You got to have some kind of madness in you. You got to have fitrat. That means your value system, your habits, and that is what it is, your nature. That decides leadership. And how does it come about? Because everybody is saying you got to have certain value system, you got to have certain courage, you got to take boldness onto that. How does one get this inspiration? To my mind, this inspiration and the courage comes from few things. One, your sanskars, your value system with which you are brought up. Two, your training, how you've been groomed and trained in a formal or in an informal manner. It comes from a sangat, the company that you keep. And more importantly is, how do you formulate your ideas? This can come by either reading, getting inspired from listening to people, attending seminars like this. Now look at what Colonel Jodh Singh and you repeatedly are calling inspiration is coming from Guru Granth Sahib. Inspiration is coming from Vivekanand. Inspiration is coming from listening to the stories of brave people who risk their life and everything onto that. So the inspiration gets built by these things: your sanskar, your training, your the sangat that you keep, and what you learn, how you feed, and how do you groom yourself, and how do you keep yourself inspired. One question which I must say, a new take which has come up about this thing is that everybody knows that you need certain courage which has to come from within you. Ultimately, yes. But what all do you need to do that? You need to have a team behind you. You need to have emotional support to you. Anilji brought up a very nice thing: the support of your family. His wife supported him through thick and thin and made him plunge. And similarly, I also feel that boldness and courage can be used in every field. The leadership comes on to not only in the battlefield, which is the reality, it is in the adventure field where every step that you take on the mountain is risk prone and display of courage and leadership is there. It comes into a sports arena. It comes into business. And another very beautiful point, it comes into your personal life too. A decision to take: do I pull the plug out of my mother's ventilator? These are the decisions which you take. And these are the things where I feel ultimately it is your mindset, your attitude, the janoon. You got to have a little bit of madness in you. You got to have a little fitrat, your nature. And then you got to keep yourself inspired and keep on going. One more point before I end, I would say is that everybody does not become a leader who leads his footprints on sands of time. That means you don't have to be necessarily a Napoleon or Montgomery or Sam Manex Shaw or Modi to sort of become a leader who can be quoted. Each of us in our own little field have an opportunity to exhibit leadership. And how does it start is, what is in front of me today? What is the challenge it is there that I'm confronted with? How do I react to that? How do I get inspired? How do I tackle it? How do I give it my very best of that? Lead by personal examples, and all the training and all your nature, your basic nature, which has been built over the years, it will always show. Like the tail of a dog can never be straightened, a leader cannot be ducked down. His leadership qualities will always emerge and surface. So that is what I feel. You got to have that madness, the fitrat, and the attitude. Thank you. One question, sorry. One question was asked by, very nicely, was integrity. Now he said that moral courage. Now listen to me. I have seen both the army, where it is an idealistic world. I've been in the civil, where the realities of life is there is no black and white. Life is full of grays. Now when it comes to moral courage or integrity, I feel there is some things you just cannot change. If I do not give money to the excise inspector, my factory will come to a close. I had to bloody well pay him. But the question is, what happens to me? My personal example, is my personal integrity at doubt? Everybody realizes you have to compromise in life. All this theoretical dogma that we propagate and make people, young minds, believe that it has to be followed on to that. No, you have to compromise with the reality. Otherwise, you cannot survive. The system will throw you out. But the question is your own self-integrity. That is something that you got to never lose. Everybody will accept you when you're compromising to be surviving in the real world. But otherwise, for yourself, if you are above that, then only you'll be considered a leader and accepted as one. I think this is my take on today's evening, and thank you very much.
I could hear round of applause. Seminar. Sounding clapping. Thank you very much, sir.